I mean, honestly, when I wrote this script, it was inspired by vintage Broncos, and I think vintage Broncos are fun. The romance is fun. Vintage Broncos are rugged. Like, this is a bumpy romance. And I think vintage Broncos are popular, and let's make this a popular movie, everybody. That's it. For me, it was really drawing back on things that have inspired me in real life, and what's inspired me is a short documentary I did 8 years ago on an all-female auto shop in Philly. I met a woman that created the shop because she didn't know where to take her car without being mansplained. She created a place that was like built by women for women, and I just like kind of wove that into this tried and true tale. Yeah, and I hope that the audiences think that it's a fresh new take on something that's a little comforting that they've seen before.
Well, I mean, it immediately calls to mind You've Got Mail.
So as it should. It is You Got Mail with auto shops. Like, the comments are true on the trailer, everybody. Like, it is a callback. But I think there's a lot of things that you're going to see in watching this that are different and more today than what you would have seen before. You know, this is about women really stepping into their power, not that Meg Ryan didn't in the past, but I think you just see women really getting passionate about cars and an industry that had been predominantly controlled by men, and that is really fresh for today.
When you first heard that this was going to be a movie that kind of is like a throwback to You've Got Mail with a modern twist, what did you think?
I thought it was great, and I remember when I got offered the role, I was panicking because I was like, oh God, I'm on tour, and I literally moved around dates just so that I could have this experience. And then being on set, it was fun to put the whole rom-com together because you read everything together, you know what's going to happen. Then when watching all the characters come together, you're like, this is going to be a fun movie. I brought comedy, I brought levity, I brought spirituality, I brought mysticism, I know my role. I was there to be fun, and I got to play off Jacob for the whole time, and we had a blast with each other. So that's what I knew I was getting into, and I had a great time doing it.
Yeah, every day was a surprise, You never know what's going to happen on a movie set. But there was one scene which we did where we were shooting on location in Big Sur, and the police had locked off a long stretch of the highway, and I was driving behind the wheel of my vintage Ford Bronco, and Mads was to the right of me, and the sun was setting, and it was just one of those red letter days, one of those beautiful moments that I'll always remember. Well, I never really watched too many rom-coms before this, and then I watched a few in preparation, and I can happily say that I'm a rom-com convert now. Yeah.
And I looked at it in a way of like, I'm bringing this really wonderful shop around the corner, You've Got Mail iteration to a new age of people who haven't seen it before or maybe heard of it. So it was an honor, but it was scary. She's a badass, and I think like we have really made really big strides to show women properly on screen and to show them being really strong, but we've just scratched the surface. And Charlie and all of her friends are so unique and so strong in their own way that it's really cool to be like doing that for like an Amazon movie where like, people will see it and it's commercial and it will get the kind of recognition like the women will that they deserve.
And it's a rom-com. Like, we need really good rom-coms. What is it for you? What do you think is the magic of a really good rom-com?
Chemistry. It's all about chemistry. I think people can totally see through it if like the cast don't get along or if like the love interests don't get along. I think people can see right through that.
Mads is awesome, man. I had so much fun working with her on this. Very collaborative person. Very committed. Fierce actress. So it was a joy working with Mads.
So if you could describe their romance as a car, what kind of car would it be and why?
It's kind of like, I think the word is a jalopy, where it's kind of like a broken down mess and it needs a lot of love and care, but when you do a really good job taking care of it, like it actually runs really beautiful and everybody loves it on the street when they see it drive by.
The 1997 Saturn, my friend Sophie and I drove around in Chicago smoking cigarettes when our parents thought we weren't supposed to. Like, I don't know anything about cars.
Should be a classic 1973 Ford Bronco, but the whole thing would have been restored. New engine, new interior, great sound system. Because, a classic car's like a relationship, you got to maintain it and take care of it.
I mean, honestly, when I wrote this script, it was inspired by vintage Broncos, and I think vintage Broncos are fun. The romance is fun. Vintage Broncos are rugged. Like, this is a bumpy romance. And I think vintage Broncos are popular, and let's make this a popular movie, everybody. That's it.